Resume recording. Hi everybody. I know other people are going to jump on. We're not going to worry. I'm going to get started right away. I want to make sure you don't have to stay muted at all. I just want to make sure that stupid bing bong noise is off because I hate the bing bong. When people come in and then it's like bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. It's very distracting.
3, 4.
Okay.
So where did you go to turn that off?
Under participants.
Okay.
And then it's right below, it says more, and there's a little arrow down, and then you can say mute participants upon entry, allow them to unmute themselves, play enter or exit chime.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because you hate the bing bong too?
Yes.
Can't even handle it. People come in late and it's just like my meds have worn off. I'm all like scattered. I am just crazy. So I'm naked for you. Hello, I am wearing clothing. I'm gonna put on a face today that's not like super fancy, but just kind of to show you how to highlight your face and make it look better for Zoom calls especially, and which is really what I do these days. Okay, so you ready? Feel free to interrupt, to ask any questions, anything like that. I'm going to start, of course, with some primer. I do have all my skincare on and everything else, but nothing else. Oh, no, I lied. I do have eye primer on, but that is because I do not use Mary Kay eye primer. I'm very sorry, but it has gluten in it, and I am super allergic to it. So I use a different brand. So I thought I'll put that on in advance. And I'm wearing headphones because my daughter and her friend are upstairs watching a movie and it's going to be loud otherwise. So if I smack my microphone, I'm sorry. I'm going to take one ear out so I don't quite hit my stuff as much. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah? Everybody's good? Okay. So primer first. This is my little trick. Soothing eye gel. Now I already have eye cream on, but I do like to put a little bit of soothing eye gel on before I put on under eye corrector. Just gives me just a little bit more emollient underneath my eyes so that I don't look so creasy and gross. I do need both headphones on. It feels weird to have one. It's like super bizarre. Okay. Any questions so far? That was real simple. No? Okay. I have everything like laid out, but I guaranteed will have forgotten something. Some brush. So, you know, this isn't my bathroom. This is obviously my office. I don't pee in here. So I don't put my makeup on here usually. So I'm just going to show you. First of all, you can tell, obviously, I have very deep set eyes. They're very far back in my head and they're very, very small. So the first thing that I do, and I'm not even sure if these brushes are super duper clean and have no other product on them. So I'm going to do the yoga pants clean and wipe them on my pants because, you know, it's my own makeup. I can do what I want. So all I'm doing, this is Blossom. And I'm putting Blossom on all over my entire lid. Now I always do my eye makeup first so that if there's any fallout, I can get that. And as well, I usually put on my skincare and I want my skincare to have time to like settle into my skin so it's not going to mess up my foundation or anything else. So I do already have had my skincare on for a while, so I'm not worried about it today necessarily, but I wanted to show you that this is what I do. So I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to show you exactly how I do it. Now, I don't normally get naked for clients on Zoom calls and things like that. I am doing one next Tuesday night. That you guys are welcome to invite guests to. Ask your director for an invite because I will send it her way as well. But I'm doing my seminar makeup from start to finish so that, you know, so I'll get naked for all your clients and you guys if you want. But today is not seminar makeup because that's a lot more, you know, products and stuff. This is hazelnut. And all I'm doing with hazelnut is like contouring my eye to get rid of the puff because you can see how deep set it is. So all I'm doing is putting this, and if you have a really deep set eye, straight across is usually better. You're not trying to curve it. You're just going, can you see that? Just straight like this, back and forth. And I'm using the eye crease brush. Sorry, if you're used to watching YouTube tutorials. Oh, that was loud. Sorry. What was that? Is somebody not muted maybe?
Oh, it's me.
Oh, no, it was like somebody talking, but I didn't hear what they were saying. So I think they might have been talking to somebody else, but it was very loud in my little poor earbuds. I don't think it was you, Marilyn. Because you didn't, it was like talking. Okay, so, oh, I just
Hi.
smooshed. There we go. So just like that, can you see that? Just to give some contour definition. So I use hazelnut because it's so close to my actual skin tone that I'm not, doing anything crazy. Okay. I'm just going to mute everybody. And then that way, if you do want to talk, just hit the unmute button. Okay. Good. That way we don't get background noise and everything else. Cinnabar, my absolute favorite. So excited that Cinnabar is back. And so I'm going to put this like a little, can you guys see that? Sorry. Like a little V, like a greater than, less than sign. Slightly higher than my lid. So this isn't going on my lid at all. Remember, here's the difference between lid and crease. Lid is where you can feel eyeball. If you can feel your eyeball, that's the lid. So there is some going right here on my lid, but not up here on my lid. Does that make sense? Just kind of like a greater than, less than sign. And I'm not leaving it like a stripe because that is against my religion. It's just not going to happen. So just like that, can you see that? And I'm just going to build that color up, and I'm actually going to grab some Merlot, another one of my absolute favorites, and I'm going to deepen it up along the edges with it and just slap it on because I'm blending out. So it's okay if I just get that color on, doesn't matter. And then, okay, I apologize if you don't have this brush from those Christmas brushes, but it is like my absolute favorite brush. So all I'm doing, and you could use the Maiden Eye color brush, but I'm just gonna pull that color this way. So when I'm doing a makeup tutorial, I'm like, you're gonna make a rhombus with that darkest color, which, let's be real, is really the only time in the whole world you would actually need to know what a rhombus is from school. And then you're gonna pull that color towards your nose. With usually I get them to use a shimmery color because they're usually using those little eye paddles if I've sent them the color card for a makeover on a Zoom call. So I just go like slap that color on right there, and then you're just gonna pull it across with the lighter color. But for today, I'm doing it the same way I actually do it. So all I'm doing is just blending it there. Can you see that? Any questions so far? No? Everybody's good? I'm gonna go back to my eye crease brush, mostly because I didn't bring my eye color brush down here because I suck. And I am going to grab, I don't know, what am I gonna grab today? Let's see. Lately, I've been really addicted to like Amber Blaze and things like that. But I'm gonna be putting on Grazie Violette to go with this, even though it is limited edition, but hopefully you guys stocked up when it was on sale. So I'm actually gonna grab, not Hummingbird, sorry. I'm gonna grab Granite because this is a really beautiful color on the lid. And I'm just going to press this right on my lid. So remember, lid is where you can feel eyeball. Now, Granite's not quite as red as Cinnabar is, but I like it because it's very shimmery, and since I'm only putting it on my lid, I'm gonna bring that shimmer forward and bring my lid forward. Can you see that? Okay. Then I'm taking, hopefully, if I can find it, there we go, my black twist up eyeliner pen, this sucker, and I'm going right here, right everywhere. And I have very small eyes, and they are not close set, which means I can go all the way into my tear duct, which is what I do, and just build it a little bit up. And then I take, and I'm going to do one eye just so you can see it, but I'm going to take my smudger brush and just like give her. So before this gets dry, I'm smoking it out. So I'm just like this, just back and forth. Now remember, this is one of the reasons why I do my eyeshadow first, because then if I go too like low down here, that's okay. Because I can clean that up after. And I'm going to keep pulling that any excess. I'm going to pull into that V. Now, can you see how much bigger my eye looks? Right? Now, don't worry. It's not going to be as low as it is right now. Just chill out. If you're like, what is she doing? Don't worry. It's all good. I did just realize though that I did not bring any eye makeup remover downstairs, so this could be fun. So I do put it in the water line. I do spray it with rubbing alcohol every single time I use it. Like I just do it afterwards, just so that there's no bacteria possible in my lash line. And then remember, you're gonna smoke this out before it gets dry. And repeat after me in your own house, but thou shalt not judge thine eyeshadow until the rest of thine face is done. Because it is really weird to look at your eyeshadow when nothing else is done. And I do say that at parties and on Zoom calls. I'm like, don't you be worrying, chill out, slow your roll, it's fine. It's not a tattoo, breathe. Thou shalt not judge it. Now I have no eyebrows on and I got huge dark circles. I found a new book and I've been obsessively listening. And last night I was like, okay, Carol, there's 8 hours left and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You need to shut it off. Like, stop. So, you know, I'm an Audible listener, like hardcore listen to Audible. I'm going to do my lash curler and don't forget, these are gone soon. Now, these are the most amazing Christmas gifts, and a good retailer starts thinking about Christmas now, just like Casco. So don't forget, do not just do this and clamp. Go 1, then move out a little bit, then 2, then move out to the very end, and 3. 1, 2, 3. And if you can give it her a little as you're doing it, that's even better. Sorry, Julie's like, oh my God, Carol. Okay. Some mascara with some Panorama. You guys can all talk amongst yourselves while you watch me make the fish face. Any questions so far? Because I can answer and do mascara. Or comments or anything? Anything new you learned?
I have found, because I have a very hooded eye, that I don't do the last curl out with the eyelash curler because it'll then just turn those eyelashes into my skin. So I have to kind of leave them up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. Like, this is just my own face. This isn't necessarily, so you got to play with it and figure it out. Like, and my advice would be, because nobody's really going to notice unless they're like this, right? And remember, anybody that's close to you is either going to kiss you or kill you, and they don't care what your makeup looks like, right? And so, and that's the best way, is like curl one side one way and curl the other side the other, and see which one you like better. Or one day do it both eyes one way and then take a picture, and then do both eyes the another way and take a picture. Play with it. Same with eyeshadow. This is why I do all my eyeshadow this way, is because it's the best way for me. And now, as I'm getting up close and personal with this mirror, I'm just going to give myself a little blend. Plus I schmutzed a little bit as I was talking. Anybody else? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Hi, Carol. Sorry, I logged in late trying to set up my office at the campground.
That's okay.
What did you start with? What's on your first layer on your lid?
No, I have some eye primer on, and then I did Blossom. So Blossom all over, and then it was Cinnabar, and then some Merlot. And you guys, I switch these colors up all the time. It's just based on a whim.
Nice.
And
Nice.
then a granite on my lid, just for that little bit of shimmer. Okay. So lashes are on. Now I have the world's worst underneath my eyelashes. Like some people have great under eyelashes and I do not. Scotty, can you grab me a Kleenex, please? So I can swipe underneath my eye, even though I didn't bring eye makeup remover down here. So I don't do any, like I don't do that thing underneath because mine are all different lengths and then they tangle together and it's real super fun, super pretty. Everyone loves it, not. So I don't do anything with my under eye lashes at all. Okay. All right. I can't do anything else until I get some brows on. So I'm going to do that. Thank you. And I'm going to clean this one up a bit. So as you're cleaning up, remember, you want to be following this path towards where your end of your eyebrow would be. So going back to your brow training, it should be like this. Super pretty, right? Everybody make sure you screen cap this summer. This is good. See, now look. But that's where you want it. So, you know, like it's very easy to think, oh, eyeshadow should be here. But unless that's the look you're going for, or unless you tend to look sad, then yeah, lift up. But whatever's going on with your eyes. Okay. So this is dark brunette eyebrow pencil. I'm drawing a little line underneath. And I'm missing my eyebrow completely. That's fun. Sorry, lots of pressure here. And then before I do the top part, uh-oh. Yes, there it is. Okay, good. I was like, oh no, I don't have a brow brush. Then I'm going to pull that up. And just super gently, because you're not trying to take away all the color. But just kind of lift it just a little bit, just so there isn't like a harsh line. And then I go back in and draw like, you know, a few little hairs and things like that. Now, everybody's brows are different. So what's that phrase? What's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. Sorry, I texted Julie and then that's it. Then I get some Newfoundland on. Okay, ready? So just like this. Now here's my secret. This is one of my favorite tricks ever. If you don't teach this, do this. I go like this with my fingers because this is gonna emulsify your brow pencil and make it stick to your skin better, and it's gonna blend anything all on its own. Just don't move your fingers and then lift. And then I'm gonna stick some brow gel on. And I grab the first one. I have like 4 sitting in front of me because I just threw them all on top of the dresser here or the counter. You'll see where I've missed underneath my eyebrow, and I'm going to clean that up in a sec. So I'm just going to go back and forth. That one's super dry, like it's almost empty. I don't even know what's going on here. Oh, this one's better. So this is, again, this is dark brunette. I do usually use regular brunette, but I'm not sure I brought it down. I usually use 2 colors of brow pencil, but I know for sure I did not bring the second one down. So too bad.
What
Okay.
does the, when you go like against the grain, what does that do again? I remember you said it, but I couldn't remember what it
When
does.
you're like drawing your brow,
No, when you were just putting the gel in.
oh, it just lifts up the hair. So you're not drawing on your skin with that brow tint. Because when you go this way, it's really easy to leave that goop on your skin. And then it's hard to, like, it clumps up and stuff. So always let that dry before you mess with your brows. Do
Okay.
not mess with it. Like, let it dry. Let your eyebrows look all crazy and spiky. It's totally fine. And then I'm going to clean up underneath my brows. I'm going to use my light ivory concealer. I always wipe it off on my hand because I am going to use more of that in a second. Now you can of course use a brush, but you can just guess if I brought a brush or not downstairs. I did not. So too bad. So I'm just drawing a little line. And there's like barely any concealer on here. Like it's almost completely dry. And that's the point. You don't want a lot on there because it'll look like those scary Bratz dolls with the white, that weird white line. And then push that in with your finger. Just tap it in so that it blends. And then, Mother of God, if you don't do this, I will pull your hair, even if I'll know. Okay, it won't matter. So then I go back in with my brush just real quick and just blendy blend so that I don't have a harsh line. You don't want a harsh line there. Okay? Now let's clean up under my eyes because wow, it's pretty. So first thing I do, oh,
I
go
had a
ahead.
question about the brows.
Yeah.
My brow hairs are very dark and I have a lot of them, but sometimes there's spaces. So I just fill in with a pen to fill them. But then I feel like I need a gel because I get a little crazy during the day. But is there like a clear gel so I'm not adding more?
I would
color?
go super light, Adrian, like go like a blonde brow tint.
Ooh,
You know,
that'll
the
really
other
lighten
thing-
them.
Nadia
Because my
used-
eyes are dark brown and my eyebrows and my eyelashes are like almost black. Is their natural
Yeah.
color even though I'm blonde?
So then I would still go blonde because blonde is more of a gray tone.
Okay.
So it's more cool than the dark blonde. That's more warm. So then
Okay.
it'll look like really weird, like it's sitting on top.
Okay.
But play with it.
So even though I'm using a dark brown to fill in, still
Mhm.
use the, what was it, did you say, light,
I would use the blonde one, the lightest one.
the blonde gel?
Yeah. And if
Okay.
not, you know, it works too to take the end of your brushy spoolie thing and or another spool, like you can just use a demo wand from a mascara. And you know, the natural moisturizing stick,
Mhm.
that's fabulous as a clear brow gel.
Okay, awesome.
So then you just brush.
Okay, thank you.
If you're blessed. Gwen Stefani told me to shave off my eyebrows in the 90s and I will never forgive her. So my eyebrows need a little bit more help. Okay, I am putting more on in the camera that because you won't see it otherwise than I normally do. So please breathe, okay? Here's where I'm gonna put this very light ivory concealer. So I'm gonna take off most of this with my finger, but I wanted you to see where I'm putting it because it's hard to see sometimes in the camera, okay? So I'm gonna put this, actually, usually I put it because I just wanted to dip back in. I'm gonna put it here and in this corner. I am not putting it all over here, okay? You see that? Now, if you do put too much product on, don't start smearing it around. It's just gonna be a mess. So I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna lift it up, and I'm gonna wipe it off. So I can take off that excess product. The more product you put on is not the better. The Instagram girls do not look good in daylight. I promise. So you should almost see that it's like almost disappeared there, okay? And I like to leave it for a couple seconds just so it gets warm and starts to move into my skin. Now that's the light one. And I'm gonna take my blending brush and I'm just tapping it right there. Now you could use a sponge. I was gonna use a sponge, but I didn't bring mine downstairs and then my extras are in a box underneath. So I was like, forget it. So I'm just pushing it in. Another tool that works really, really well is the crease brushes, like the old school crease brushes. Those work really, really well. Diana Carrero taught me that. Okay. So that's not for under eye corrector. That is to brighten, especially in Zoom, because there's a light shining on you and you're on the camera. That's just to brighten. So now I'm going to go in with my under eye corrector. And again, I'm going to put a little bit more on than I usually do. I'm going to put it in the same spot. Okay, like that. See that? And because you guys, it'll be hard for you to see me. Otherwise, I am going to keep this amount of product on. So I'll just show you. So I'm going to take my finger. I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. Do not start smearing. Do not start spreading. Tap, 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 tap. And if you are spreading, you're spreading up here because you're creating like a highlight. Okay? This is how you get no creases. We don't want under eye corrector right there because it's just going to pick up any little fine lines and be like, boom, there they are. So now I'm going to take this part, see? And I'm going down. See? Can you see that? So not that stupid triangle you see on the Instagram girls. And heaven forbid, do not just spackle that on like they do. They're, first of all, they're fetuses. And second of all, it's like so gross in real life. You don't want that much product. So again, I just wiped off my finger so I can take some of that off. And I'm just tapping that in. And I'm going downwards. You see that? See the difference? Sorry, I keep giving you guys the finger. I apologize. Sort of. Just kidding. And you can see how much this other side really melted into my skin. And not because it's hot, because my house is like a morgue, because Mary Kay paid for air conditioning one year instead of my $500,000 ring. And it's like the best thing Mary Kay ever bought me. They don't even know. All my things are Mary Kay bought for me. Can you see that? Good. Now resist the urge to smile until it is totally dry. This is going to be very difficult for me, but I will try, because that's what happens is then it starts to settle into places you don't want it to settle. So I don't have any foundation on, so I'm going to do that next. But before I do that, now I know Diana says color correct and do your zit correction and stuff like that after. This is not because of that. This is for highlighting only. I'm taking my light ivory concealer and I'm going to do a tiny little bit of light, just like this, towards the center of my face before I put any foundation on. Because here's the deal. Sometimes I do this just so that I can go, hey, I don't really need any foundation. Because like my skin's pretty good. I don't need to spackle a ton on. So sometimes I just do this to go, wait a second, I don't really need that much. So this is just the normal liquid foundation brush. And I'm just quickly blending that in. So I'm not pushing it into the skin the way I did with underneath the eye where I want more product. This is just a quick blend. So you can see how it picks up the light there. Any questions so far?
Hi, Carol. Can we go back to the don't put the V under your eye? Why?
Yeah, so, okay, so because here, right there, there's little creases. And then if you start and you put a bunch of product right there, right beside your lash line, that is where the most of your tiny little wrinkles will be. Even if you're 20, you'll have tiny little wrinkles there. And so you want to make sure that your product is lightening up underneath your eye, but not so close to your eye that all it's doing is catching wrinkles and not brightening. So now that being said, everybody's eyes are different. This is mine, right? The other thing is my eyes are very deep set and you can still see a little line. Can you still see that? Like it's not puffy, they're sunken into my head. So another thing I could do if this was like seminar night or something else is I could take a little bit more of the light ivory and just go in a line right in there, but I would need a precise brush, like a concealer brush, which I did not bring downstairs. So I won't do that for you today, but you can tell like that my eyes get, a little bit baggy. So I'm going to do my foundation first. And then if I want to go back and add a little bit more, I can, but try to keep this area right there. Even if all you did was take a beauty blotter and just give it a little pat, that takes away a lot of that excess too. Where are my beauty blotters? Right here. They're always handy for me. So I have liquid foundation here or cream to powder. Which one do you guys want to see me do?
Liquid.
Anybody else want a specific? No? Liquid?
I was gonna say cream to powder because I don't know how to use it, but if you want
Who
to do
else
like,
I
does
was
not
gonna say
know how
that
to use
too.
cream to powder? Yeah? You want me to? Okay. You've all seen me do liquid, I'm sure. And on Tuesday, I'll do liquid. Okay. So cream to powder, foundation. I like this brush with it because I do like this one, but this one's like, that's going to give you a lot of product on your face. And here's the thing I want you to remember about cream to powder. It covers a lot without you needing to put on a lot. So if you are putting it on, do not put it on the way you would normally put on foundation. It's very important that it matches your skin like perfectly or you're hooped because you don't need it to be spackled on. Okay, so I've got it on my brush, and all I'm doing is downward strokes, not in circles. I'm just going to do one side of my face. And then anywhere I feel I need a little extra coverage, I am pushing like this. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Scott. That's the wrong one. You need to let the dog out, but she has to go out on the leash because there's, I don't know if they closed the gate. Are they still here? Sorry, our deck is being built. Another gift from Mary Kay. So this is beige 1, if anybody's wondering. I usually wear beige N190 or beige N150. And this is like seamless on my skin. Like you can, it's like so matchy. There's a leash on the table and you can connect it. And then there's a red leash in the yard to connect them to if they need to. Can you see that? Do you want me to do the other color, the other one on the other side? I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah? Okay. So this is beige N190 luminous on this side. So totally different looks. I do use matte too. I just grabbed luminous. Same brush. I won't care if it's the same brush. Okay. And same thing. I'm going to start in the center of my face. Now remember with beige N190 or any of these yellowy ones, it's going to go on yellow first. Can you see how yellow that is? It's like when you're painting the ceiling and then you can't figure out where you started. That's why it does that. So in about 13 seconds, it's going to match my skin tone perfectly. But it's super weird because it does that. So when they first put it on, you're like, what is she thinking? Okay. So I'm going to blend this. Sorry, I'm going to switch my earphones so I don't keep smacking my microphone here. I'm just going to take this and blend this down and around. Now I have a neutral skin tone, so I can get away with like anything if I wanted to. So I've worn everything from C130 to C140 to beige N150, just depends. It's totally fine, but I am out in the sun a bit more, so I find I need to switch to the N190. But again, I want to make sure I'm going down my neck so I don't get the cake face. And this is going to start to blend right into my skin. I find the N150 goes on like it matches perfectly, but then in a little while, then it starts to look very white on me. So there's the difference. Both of them are layerable. You can go back in and add more if you need to. Okay, but I don't have to. So I am going to put a little bit more under eye corrector on. And in this time, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mix it on my hand with my light ivory concealer. And again, I would normally do that with a brush, but I didn't bring a concealer brush. Can you guys still hear me?
See the shine on your face. See the shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's way more luminous, right? Yeah. Than that one is. So cream to powder is my go-to usually for a quickie face because it's so like? Fast.
Can you feel the difference?
Yeah, this one's way softer like a powder. This is still tacky. Yeah, it just depends. And I mean, people always ask me, which foundation to use? Depends. I don't know what I'm feeling. Sometimes it's CC cream. I lots of times do CC cream mixed with mineral powder on the back of my hand. I love that. I love liquid foundation. I love cream to powder foundation. I love mineral powder on its own. But yeah, you can see this one's shinier and I like it a little bit more. It's a little bit more youthful on this side. Now, the other secret I have about cream to powder is usually when I'm wearing it, I put gel mask on as primer. Just a very thin layer of gel mask. And in that case, you got to be real careful putting it on because you don't want any weird spots. So I put it on with the blending brush, downward strokes. So it's very even.
I have you can see how shiny I am and I just finished putting on powder. Would the cream to powder help with my shine or would it get cakey?
No, it would help a lot.
It will help. So maybe a cream
to oily skin person. Now I'm right in the middle so I can get away with both, but yeah, so cream to powder would be good for you, Adrienne.
It's probably better because I'm getting ready to buy a foundation. So maybe I might try the cream to powder then this time.
I would.
Okay.
And the easiest way to match cream to powder, you guys, is by figuring out what you would be in the normal foundations and then doing the conversion chart
Okay.
and then ask somebody else their opinion, just to be sure. You can message me, I'll tell you.
Okay.
So just a tiny little bit right there underneath. So you can see I'm still putting it right there. I'm just not putting it right beside my eyeball. And I do love this brush, but I mostly love this brush for patting in, not for smearing. Because I find it can take product off again, which sometimes is what you want. I don't know. Up to you. Okay? Y'all with me so far? Yes? Okay. Any questions so far?
The luminous side looks lifted. Does anybody else see that?
Mm-hmm. That's the other reason I love it. Like usually I carry cream to powder in my purse just for quickie touch-ups.
But the luminous is definitely makes that little line, that little wrinkle disappear.
Mm-hmm. Like this side looks younger. Maybe it does already. I don't know, but who knows? Okay.
Are
Alright.
you, so you don't ever do anything underneath the middle of the eye?
Yeah, it's like right. Okay, hang on. I'm going to point exactly where I wouldn't put it. Right there. So, you know, when you see it in the video and people do this like big triangle all the way up to their lashes, basically think about it where the end of your eyelashes is underneath your eye. Don't put any concealer there. Because that's where you're creasiest. So look at your own eye to figure out where you're creasiest, but that's where you don't want, especially, you can put concealer, but especially not under eye corrector, because under eye corrector is luminous and it's got those little flecks in it and it's just going to be like, boom. It'll be like a big neon sign that's like, check this out. She old. Okay. Good. Now, here's my favorite trick, but I didn't bring my sponge. So I usually take a Kleenex or tissue, depending on your geographical area, and I wrap it around my Beauty Blender sponge, and I just press it on my face all over, because it's going to take off anything extra, and anything extra likes to settle into fine lines and wrinkles. And it also likes to look oxidized and cakey later. So not crazy, just very, very lightly. So you can see this is not, that's where I wiped off my fingers, but that's what it took off my face. So just a little bit, but just enough. And I usually wrap it around the end of the Beauty Blender. Just give her. Just lightly bounce it. And then you can go back in. I didn't put any more product on this brush. Go back in and make sure you're blendy.
Carol,
Good.
would beauty blotters work in that case, or is it better with the tissue on a blender?
Beauty blotters are good, but then what ends up happening is it also takes the oil out, and sometimes we want a little oil because that's what makes us more luminous. So
Of course.
I don't
Yeah.
do that. I just take the tissue because it's just going to take off the excess, not draw all the oil out of the foundation,
Gotcha. Thank
which
you.
can dry my face out. That's a good question. Okay. See this? I like Latte. I use Latte, but this is honestly my absolute favorite contour. And it is Bronze 5 because I don't mess around with contour, but you can do whatever color you want. And if you happen to be of the melaninly non-challenged like me, then you can go with highlighting by using a very light color to do this. Okay. But I'm just going to take a little bit on this part of my cheek brush and tap it off. Do not blow on your brushes, I'll know. And I will pull your hair. And then right here, now I'm trying to do this in the backwards camera on the Zoom. That's going to work out real well for me. Right there. That's all I'm doing is smushing it on there. Tap, 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 tap. So it's like on. It's there. It's attached to my face. Give her, give her, give her. Smush, smush, smush. And then I'm going to smush, smush up here Just a little bit. Now you have to figure out your own color because I don't know what color you would be. I've tried them all. I like bronze 5 because it's a bit warmer and it's not yellowy, because sometimes other ones look yellow on my skin. So you can see that. Now we're going to take it away. So I'm going to go to my mineral foundation brush, the rounded one, and I'm going to buff it like this. Buff back and forth and buff right here downwards, not here downwards, right? So if you watch Diana Carrero, she's like, don't pull it down. Well, on this side of my face, I have a bigger face than Diana does. So I'm going to pull it down just a little bit here. Now, my favorite trick ever to teach you where the heck you should contour is take one of those photo editing apps, you know, those ones that like make you have makeup on or like make you look like a glam Hollywood star or whatever and make you look crazy. Take that and put it to the highest setting on a naked picture of your face and then see where they put it. Because chances are that's where you should put it. Look where they've got the contour. Because that app will figure out where your highest and lowest points are. And everybody is different. There is no face that's created the same. So you can see, because I'm using this brush, it's not going to be as dark as it was when I first put it on. Now, I like the mineral powder just because it has a bit more staying power than the latte does for me. And it's not quite as dark as cocoa, but it just feels like it stays on a bit better. Now, that's a personal choice. You don't got to do it. Okay? This is just my quickie face. Now, this usually takes me 5 minutes, but I'm talking. So it's not gonna today. Okay, and then I take Ivory 0.5. And again, I'm gonna take, usually I take my sponge with this, but I'm gonna take a little bit right there and a little bit right there, just like Diana said to do, and a little bit right in the middle and a little bit on my nose and in the center of my face and a little bit under here, not close to my eyeball because I'm not baking it. See? Can you see that? And then I'm going to take my brush again, my mineral powder brush, and take it away. And all it does is just gives me a little subtle highlight so that my cheekbones are more obvious on camera. Good? So make sure it looks human in real life too, and in real light. Yeah? And then I'm going back to my blush brush, and I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm going to use Rosy Nude. First of all, again, on that corner bit of my brush, and I'm going to brush it off, tap it off. And this is going to go right above basically where that contour is. So like, it's like a stripe. So if you're wondering where to contour, it goes like contour, blush, highlight. Usually everybody's face is different. So look at your own face and shine the light on it and see where God wants to favor you. And make sure that's where your highlight is going. So I want it right there. Da, da, da. Now I'm very smiley and I'm very cheekbony. I've got those Russian cheekbones. So I'm going to go like this and I'm going to pull my Rosy Nude right there. So that when I fall my face doesn't fall down too. I want to make it so that it would be where my smile would be, even if I have had some gravity issues. See that? Yes? And then, you know me, I'm all about the hacks and all about the using things the wrong way. I'm going to use liquid eyeshadow in, this is the Light Beam, and my finger. And I'm going to put it right there. And again, you find where God wants to favor you, and that is where you put the highlight. And it should be so subtle that you'd have to look very carefully to see where it is. If you can see a stripe, that is not subtle. That is the opposite of subtle. That's about as subtle as a hammer. And the secret I have about liquid eyeshadow is you can use any damn brush you want, especially on your eyes. You do not have to use a cream eye color brush. In fact, I don't like the cream eye color brush with the eyeshadow. I'm going to take a little bit more on the back of my hand, and I'm going to just highlight right here in the center of my lid again. Just in the center with my, I don't know what brush I grabbed, whatever brush I grabbed. I'm just gonna tap that there just so it gives me just a little bit more lift to the eyeball. Good? Okay, last but not least, maybe, I am going to show you first of all, medium nude lip liner is my go-to. This is something I wear all the time on its own. I'm not gonna talk while I do this because this will end in, I will look like the, why so serious? Okay. So I did it underneath and then I go like this and then do the top, always draw up on the top, not down. And then smush. And then I want it to be darker on the edges because this is like a contour. Now, the reason you always draw up is because when you draw downwards, you can create a very straight line and our lips aren't straight. And then you just took away a whole bunch of volume out of your lip. So always feather it upwards on the top. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could just go like this with a little bit of liquid eyeshadow right in the center. And this is the light beam. Nice. Now, I personally, people say, well, what lip liner should I use to match with this or this or this? Usually, unless it's red, the answer for me is almost always medium nude. It doesn't matter because lip liner isn't just so that it just has a line. It's also so that it helps to keep the lipstick on. So now I have to find where the heck I just put my Grazie. There's my Grazie. So I'm using Grazie Violette with the medium nude. Just helps it to stop bleeding. Okay. And again, if I want a little highlight in the middle, I can just do that. Cool. Last but not least, not last actually, because we got a finishing spray of this, but I always use translucent powder. I usually use a bigger brush. I don't usually use the powder one, but I didn't bring the bigger brush downstairs. So always start your translucent right in the center of your face. Try not to talk while you're doing it. And a little dab will do ya. You don't need a ton. But don't forget, translucent powder is like an Instagram filter. It bounces the light off your face. So then it's going to make you look instantly better.
Does it add more shine?
It doesn't because it's
Okay.
disco balls. So it's tiny little disco balls. It's going to give you a glow without shine. It's not going to make you look oily. Okay. And that's it, except for finishing spray. This one's almost empty. Don't forget, finishing spray does more than, of course, it's Swatch and Swoop spray, but it also helps to pixelate your makeup and blend it so that it makes it look more flawless and it helps to seal to your skin so it doesn't look like it's sitting on top. And finishing spray is amazing by itself. Even translucent powder and primer are amazing by itself. So if you don't want to wear foundation, but you want to look a little bit more flawless, finishing spray, translucent powder, and then finishing spray is amazing.
What did you say the finishing spray did again?
It
It does-
pixelates your makeup, so it helps to blend it and bounce light back off so that it makes it look more blended immediately. So if you stress about blending, there you go.
Perfect. Looking like you're super hot, girl.
There we go. Glasses back on. The light is very bright on my glasses, but
You're gorgeous.
gorgeous. I love it.
Gorgeous.
So, any questions, you guys? Always check your makeup, especially for Zoom, in different lights. So watch. I've got a cool light on. I'm going to switch to a warm light, and I want to make sure that it still looks good. And then I'm going to go no light. Oh, wait, I've got a side light on. Hang on. How do I shut that off? Where is it? Okay, there we go. There's no light. So you want to make sure, well, I've got to, hang on. I can't reach that, so there's no taking that off. This is what y'all look like in the dark when you're doing your Zoom calls in your dark offices. It's like Nobody can see you. What? I know how to do my makeup. Can't you tell? I can't shut this light off. I can't reach. Now the mirror fell on me. I can't reach this bulb, but there's like, look, this is what you look like. Like, oh, I totally know what I'm doing. Isn't it amazing? Get on a Zoom call with me. Right? Knock it off. Get some lights on you. The devil is the one who wants to give you wrinkles. So you got to find the God light. You find the light from God and you let it shine on you. Remember, the difference between Grace and Frankie when they're taking pictures in the dark is like 30 years versus what it looks like on camera. And it ain't a filter, it's light. Carol, what filter is that? Light! That's it. Old, young, okay? Oh, light. Any other questions, you guys? Was that helpful?
Is there a way that you can tell, like for the, back to the brow gels?
Yeah.
Is there a way that you can tell what kind of like warm or cool undertones they have?
Yeah, who's talking? I don't see who it is.
That's right.
Oh,
Me.
oh, sorry, there you are, right in the middle. I'm looking below you like, Andrew's not talking. Yeah, so blonde is cool and dark brunette is cool. Brunette and dark blonde are warm. Look for orange. If there's orangey, if it's sort of orangey, then that's warm. And black brown is cool.
I wear both of those, Carol. I wear the dark blonde and the brunette.
Mm-hmm. Lots of people do. And like, same with me. Usually I use the dark brunette pencil and the brunette brow gel.
And I go with the blonde, and mine is mostly, well, I have dark eyebrows, but it's going gray. And the blonde covers it without going red, which the dark blonde.
Yes. So if you had darker hair, or if it was like a darker gray hair than yours, Moira, they can't see you. So I know what you look like. But if you did, then I would go, you could go even mix them. And don't forget, guys, you can also use a spoolie for your brow gel, like the mascara ones. So if you're finding like the brow gel is putting too much on, or you want to mix colors, take a spoolie and go into 2 different ones. And go in. And I honestly sell those with my stuff. Like I don't sell them, I give them as a gift if people do need 2 different colors so that they can do that.
And I was on no video because I just came in from work at the office and I'm hot and a little.
I wasn't like you have to have video on, but I was like, they don't know what you look like.
No. But just so everybody can see with the gray hair, and I do still have dark eyebrows, or a lot of dark, but there is a lot of gray coming in now. And it's usually the blonde that I have to use. So.
And you can see her blonde is a cool tone blonde, whereas like, or her gray is a cool tone gray versus like some grays are dark tone gray or like a warm tone. Okay.
Thanks,
So-
Carol.
You're welcome. So you can see how the light is hitting right here in this triangle, right? Now, do you guys want to watch me put on false eyelashes?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to stay. So if you decide to leave, it's okay. Does somebody have everybody's names written down? I thought somebody was doing it for me. I don't know. When you ask just somebody and then everybody's like, someone else will do it. And then we don't ever get somebody to do it.
I can do it if you want it.
I would love it. Who said that though?
Carol, I have them all written down.
Oh, good.
I just need your email. So how am I going to get them to you?
You don't need to. You just need to draw a name for us. Make a new best friend.
Oh,
That's all I need. I just need a prize winner. So rip them up and give a draw. Okay, so here's my lashes. Now, a little secret for you. Lashes are always better the second or third time you wear them, not the first time. Do not throw them out unless you bought yours at Dollarama. And if you are, you're worth more than that. I can't tell you what brand this is. It is from Winners, and it's like a 5-pack brand. What you want is for this bar at the top to not be super thick. The super thicker ones, like the ones that are like, now you don't have to put on an eyeliner. awesome. You can enjoy feeling your eyeball stretched out all day and all night because it hurts. So the lighter the line, the easier they are to wear. Okay. So I buy them from Winners, but Quo ones are good too. And so are the Ardell ones. Or Kiss makes a good one at Walmart. But I would rather like eat my young than go to Walmart usually. So I don't usually do that. Okay. Okay. So I use this lash glue. It has glue all over it, but whatever. It's the Duo, the brush on adhesive, and it is the sensitive skin one because it has no formaldehyde in it. I'm just going to mute everybody again just because there's some background. There we go. Okay, so you feel free to unmute yourself to ask anything. So what you do is you're going to make sure that your glue is tacky. So you got to paint it on. And I love this one because it comes with a little brush. I enjoy that because I'm clumsy. You want to paint it on. And you got to wait a few seconds before it is ready to put on your face. And what I like to do, because glue is a polymer and you want to strengthen those bonds, that's my teacher voice, is mess with them while I'm doing that. So play with them, pull them back and forth, bend them. No one's eyes are straight. So twist and bend while that glue is setting. And also do that before you even, if they're brand new, do that before you put them on and cut them to your lashes, to the size of your eyes, and always go a little smaller than you think you need. Because there is nothing worse than it going down to here and you're like, yeah, exactly, right? It's like, it's just poking you in the eyeball all the time. So you want to let it go about 30 seconds because you don't want a whole eyeball full of glue, and it's going to stick on even better with more time, not tons of time, but more time. Okay. And then you're going to look down, and then what's that song? Look down and see. Okay. Anyway, so you're going to look down and you're not touching your lashes, but you're going to slide it up your lashes. You want it to be as close to your natural lash line as possible. Now, if you have a little foldiness, like we do, then you're going to pull up just gently. Remember, your skin is like a brand new pair of underwear. Less pulling, okay? And fold it over. So I am going to raise my eyebrow. I want to stick it in the middle first, and then I'm going to pull it over. And that wasn't even quite dry enough, actually, you guys. So it felt like a long time, but it's not very long. I'm going to pull it over, and I didn't bring any tweezers down here, but I'm going to use the end of a brush and just stick it on. And then my favorite trick is, I don't know if you can see this, but I like to take my skin and fold it over the lashes so that it A, is more comfortable to wear, and B, so that it doesn't look like there's a lash line there. So all that excess skin, just pinch, just go like this, pinch, pinch, pinch. And then as the glue is setting, push like this up. Because if you're wearing glasses, especially with eyelashes, and then they're hitting it, this is the issue. Push up while the glue is setting. And it's like a lash curler. See the difference? Eyelashes make a big difference, and they don't cost very much, and they're super easy to do once you get the hang of it. Do not attempt to do eyelashes 5 minutes before you're supposed to be somewhere, or you'll do that thing where you're like, tell them I'm not coming, but it's your daughter's wedding. I don't care. You know, it's like you don't try on that dress 10 minutes before you're supposed to leave.
How do you get them off? I
You
never.
pull. You just pull. The glue is not so harsh that it's going to pull out your eyelashes or anything. You just pull them off. It's like taking your bra off at the end of the day. It is like delicious. You just pull, and then you clean them just with eye makeup remover, just
You don't got
really
no
gently.
You don't got no A cups, do you, Carol?
No,
It's not
no,
really-
no. I'm not part of the itty bitty titty committee there, Julie. Telling you, that
Girl.
has never been an issue. But you know, your butt always looks better than mine, so don't you worry. God always gives with both hands. Okay, so make sure So you're moving your lashes around while the glue's setting. Look, see how I'm doing it? Look, wah, wah, wah. Can you see that? Sorry. La, 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 ba, 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 da, da, da. So make it do a little dance. And twist it and bend it. It's that bop it game, like bop it, twist it, bend it. And when you can almost not see the glue anymore is when it's time to put it on. Okay, like you shouldn't even be able to see it. It goes on sort of gray blue. And when it's almost gone is when it's like, now's the time, it's done. Okay, so again, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna raise my brow. I'm gonna look, I usually look down at a mirror, but it's very hard to show you while I do that. And curve it around your lashes. Use a little poker to poke it in when it needs to be poked. And then fold skin over. And you're gonna do this really fast and then push. And make sure when you're pushing, you've got one finger on one side of the lash and one finger on the other, because where it's gonna lift is on the edges. So
Lola
then
wants
this
to know
way,
where to, sorry, Lola wants to know where to buy the glue. Just Shoppers? Is that where?
yeah, Shoppers, Walmart, anywhere. It's called Duo. And it's white and green. Don't buy the black one. It will end in tears and recrimination. Don't do it. Save yourself. It lasts forever, but it is horrifying. Is that what you use? Yeah, don't do it. I only use it for Comic-Con. Like, and when I'm at Comic-Con, I'm usually wearing 4 or 5 pairs of lashes at the same time. So I need the extra glue. Okay? Just like that. And then that's it. Yeah, it's white and green. It looks like this. See? Says formaldehyde free.
Have you ever used the eyeliner magnetic ones?
Yeah, I hate it. I mean, I don't mind it. Like I don't mind it for like a Zoom call. I used to like it because I could put the eyeliner on, take my lashes off, go do a call, put them on, take them off again. But honestly, the magnets really bug my eyes. And I find the magnet liner really hard to take off. And the ones where you have to clamp them, I hated those too. So I just am like, screw it, I'm just throwing this on. And everybody's different, but don't forget when you're done, always blend your lashes with this. Like,
And throw out your glue after 3 months, right, Carol?
absolutely throw your glue out after 3 months or you end up with a gross eye infection and you will look like you had a stroke. Learn from me. I was like, I just used it. No, you didn't. And you cannot let this stuff freeze, so do not let it sit in your car. It will be disgusting. So that's it, but you can see what a difference that makes on your face, right? Especially for me, because I have super small eyes. Do I do it all the time? No. But if I'm doing a call and I'm doing like 5 calls in a day, don't worry. There are lots of days I look homeless. And there are lots of days that I'm not wearing much. And there are lots of days that I'm all glammed up. So this is, I don't put this on for every single Zoom call. It's just something, for me, it takes me 2 seconds to put false eyelashes on. But it is something worth practicing. And yeah, just makes life a little more fun. And who wouldn't like that? All right, Marilyn, did you do the draw for us?
I have an envelope full of names,
Awesome.
and the winner is Edna Savoy. I don't.
Awesome. Edna, make sure I get your address.
Thank you.
She's Nadia's star.
She is. I knew this. Top 20 in sales, right?
Right.
That's awesome. Amazing.
Congratulations,
amazing.
Edna.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know it was a little longer. I hope you learned some stuff. And I hope it was fun for you at least.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. Learned.
Love you guys.
Love you.
night.
Bye.
You.
Bye.
Bye.